I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I'm doing this lesson about the Passover. Passover draw nigh, meaning it's near, it's around the corner. April 21st is Sundown, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, 7 days. So we finna go on this lesson, how to keep the Passover, okay? All right? So let's don't waste no time, let's get into it. This is Exodus 12:5, right? Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep, take it out from the sheep or from the goats. You have to eat lamb on the Passover, and it doesn't mean you can't eat goat. And you can't eat goat on the Passover, and that's off, and it must be lamb. So you gotta have lamb, not goat. Not saying you can't eat goat. We can eat goat milk, but not goat milk, goat meat, but we can't eat it on the Passover, right? You gotta have a lamb, okay? And Yahushua, was he a lamb? Okay, right. All right, let's go to it. Go to John 1:29. So you gotta have lamb, okay, on a Passover, not goat. John 1:29, 1:28, 1:29. This is John 1:29. The next day John see that Yahushua coming into him and said, Behold, the Lamb of Yahweh, which taketh away the sin of the world. Right, the lamb is representative of Yahushua, and he is a lamb without spot or blemish, because Yahushua didn't sin and he didn't have any blemish. So the lamb you have on the Passover, you had a male without blemish, and also you had wicked Israelites would offer lamb that was torn by lions, and it tells you in the book of Micah that the Israelites would take the torn lamb and offer it up to the Lord, and they would keep the good lamb to themselves, and that is going off and wicked, right? Right, because Yahushua was out spotting without blemish, right? Let's go to 1 Peter 1:18, 1:19. 1 Peter 1:19. Bear with me. This is 1 Peter 1:19. Okay. But with the precious blood of Mashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. Yahushua was without spot and blemish. Okay. Let's go to 1 Peter 2:21. Because Yahushua didn't sin at all, right? Okay. This is 1 Peter 2:21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Mashiach also suffered it for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps. Verse 22. Who did not sin, neither was gall found in his mouth. Right, Yahushua didn't sin, or neither was gall found in his mouth, and that's why he is the lamb without spot and blemish, and he is the offering for the children of Israel. And in the ancient time, when the purpose of the blood was on the doorpost for the angels of death to pass by, and now in the last day we don't have to put blood on our doorpost, because the blood of the lamb cover us through Yahushua, meaning sin and death and destruction pass by and pass over you, because you are sanctified by the blood of the Lord. And back then in the ancient world, the blood covered your earthly house, and now the blood cover your spiritual house, meaning your body, tabernacle, your dwelling place. Now, right, because then Yahushua went through temptation, just like we went through temptation, like we go through temptation. Okay, let's go to Hebrews 4:15. Okay, Hebrews 4:15, right? This Hebrews 4:15. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings in our in our feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Yahushua went through temptation, and just like we go through temptation every day in the truth, so did the Lord, right? Because the Yahushua, he came down like his brethren, right? To show us the way, show him that if he can go through it, we can go through it. Okay, we can, he come down, showing us the way that we can overcome all these things. Okay, he led by example, so we can do the same thing. Let's go to Hebrews 2:16. Okay, it's Hebrews 2:16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Verse 17, wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to Yahweh, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. Yahushua wanted to go through with the earthly body that he is in and overcome, to show you that you could overcome sin. And if Yahushua come down in a angelic body and overcame everything, and you will be like, well, he really didn't go through nothing, and he had a spiritual body and he couldn't be tempted. But if the Lord could overcome temptation, and we can come over the temptation, right? We can come over temptation as well. So he led by example, right? Let's go back to Exodus. Okay, Exodus 12 and verse 6. This is Exodus 12 and 6. And ye shall keep it up unto read that again. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Right, meaning they kill the lamb when the sun goes down, as it is in our law. So you supposed to have your lamb and raise it up to the 10th day, and raise it up to the 14th day, and then slaughter it. But we are in captivity, so you go buy your lamb chops, lamb steaks, lamb shanks on the 10th day of the first month, and keep it until the 14th day of the month, and cook it at sundown. And we are rehearsing the righteous acts. Right. So like you say, we in captivity, right? So we gotta go buy our lamb chops, lamb steaks, right? So technically, let me get the calendar. Okay, so today is April the 8th, right? So the Passover started on the 21st, right? So you count the days. So April 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th day is on the 17th, right? So on the 17th, so that's 10 days. So you go buy your meat, go buy your lamb chop steak, your lamb chops, right? Your lamb chops, right? Your lamb steak, right? On the 17th day, put it in the freezer, okay? And 4 days later, on the 21st at sundown, okay? That's when, that's when you cook it, okay? That's the Passover. So we practice in the righteous act, all right? So this is what we're doing. We practice in the righteous act. So on the 17th right now, okay, got to the 17th, go get your lamb steak, lamb chop, all right? Buy it on the 17th, boom, put it in the fridge, all right? Okay, to the 21st, to 4 days later, on the 21st sundown, okay, all right, so-called Sunday night, all right, so boom, you cook it, all right? It's practicing the righteous act, all right? It's 14 days, all right? It's to be the 14th day. But anyway, because back then, let's go to verse 7, okay? And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it, right? Okay. In the ancient, they actually put blood on your house in the ancient world, right? Okay. Right, because back then they put blood in your ancient, on your house in the ancient world, right? But who cover our blood now? Okay, meaning Slocky, Yahweh blood cover our house of clay. Okay, our house of clay. All right. So I cover our house of clay. So that's our body, right? So let's go some precepts on this. Okay, let's go, Job 4. Job 4 and 13. Start 13. Job 4 and 13. And thoughts from the vision of the night when deep sleep folded on men. Okay, 14. Fear came upon me, and trembling which made all my bones to shake. Verse 15. Then a spirit passed it before my face. The hair of my flesh stood up. This isn't a nightmare, more of an admiration given to Eliphaz, who given Job of account what he experienced. When he was sleeping, and the Lord sent a spirit down to trouble him. Verse 16. It stood still, but I could not discern the form thereof, and imagine was before my eyes. There was silence, and I heard a voice saying, verse 17, shall mortal man be more just than Yahweh? Shall a man be more pure than his maker? Verse 18, behold, he put no trust in his servant, and his angels he charged it with folly. Verse 19, how much less in them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which are crushed before the moth. The house of clay is your body, and you are formed out of clay. And it tells you in Job 33, 6th chapter, now the house that the Lord sanctified, the house of clay, is your body, and the Lord blood covers your house of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, meaning you made from the dust, right? Verse 20, they are destroyed from morning to evening. They perish forever without any regarding it. The point is, you have a physical resident, your home you live in, and you have what your spirit dwells in at the house of clay, and both are covered by the blood of the Lord, and that is the purpose of putting the blood on the doorposts. Verse 21, do not their excellency which is in them go away. They die even without wisdom. Right? Let's go back to Exodus 12:7. I think it's verse 8. Exodus 12. Okay, in verse 8. 12 and 8. Okay, and this is Exodus 12 and 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. And the only way you can cook your lamb on the Passover, roasted with fire, meaning on a grill that roasted with open fire, and you can bake it or put it in the microwave or boil it, and you have to keep the holy days holy, because we are holy and separate, and we can't eat lamb we can eat lamb any day we want, but it is a must we eat it on the Passover. And the only time we can eat lamb is on the Day of Atonement, right? So that's the only day we can't eat lamb, on the Day of Atonement, right? So it's a must that we eat the lamb on the Passover, right? Okay. Right. Let's go back to verse 8 again. Bear with me. Okay, this Exodus 12 and 8 again, all right? And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roasted with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. You have to grill your lamb, and you have to have unleavened bread, right? You gotta have unleavened bread, because you don't want no leaven, okay? Right? Because leaven is sin, right? That's what we want to purge that leaven out of us, right? Okay? Let's go get some precepts, okay? And another thing, don't be trying to, just go get a grill. Go get a grill for your lamb, okay? All right? You ain't got to get no big expensive grill. Just go get a small grill at Walmart for $19, okay? For $19, okay? Don't think trying to use a George Foreman grill, okay? Right, that's not going to work, all right? You need to get you a grill, okay? All right? But anyway, just want to throw that out there. Okay. In 1 Corinthians 5 and 6, okay? Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Right, a little leaven meaning a little sin, and leaven the whole lump meaning destroy a whole congregation. So if you are planning on making leavened bread, you can say, well, it will still be unleavened bread if I just put a little yeast in it, but the whole thing is going to be destroyed. So a little sin can destroy a whole man and a congregation, right? Let's go, because in the church of the Korean, man, they was going off, okay? Right. They wanted their father's wife. They messing with their mother and all that. Okay, let's go to it. Okay. Let's jump verse 1. Okay, First Corinthians 5 and 1. It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, and such fornication as is like not so much as named it among the Gentiles, that one should have his father's wife. Right. Everyone knew what was going on with all of the fornication in Corinth, and Paul heard that such fornication as is not so much as named it among the Gentile, meaning this is a different type of fornication that y'all are into, that they should have their father's wife, and they were saying that, and that is off and wicked, and you had the woman teaching in the congregation, and women not keeping silent, and feminine men having sex with their mom, false prophets, envy of each other. They didn't want Paul to teach them the milk, right? So verse 2, and ye are puffed up, and have not rather mourned it, that he that had done this deed might be taken away from among you. They were puffed up and bragging about how they slept with their mom or father's wife, and instead of mourning for what they have sinned, and he that had done this deed might be taken away from among you, meaning, and the other brethren should have kicked him out of the congregation instead of listening to what the brother did to his mom and laughing about it, right? Drop down to verse 4. In the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, when ye are gathered together, and my spirit with the power of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, Verse 5, to deliver such an one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua. To deliver such an one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh, meaning kick this brother out of the congregation. And if he is out of the congregation, and now Satan is going to work on him heavy, and most of the time when brothers leave the camp or get kicked out of the camp, or they want to go and do their own thing, or if they fall out the truth and Satan start working on them heavy, and he said, I would rather give this man over to Satan than having the whole church of Corinth fall apart, and just get him out of here and give him up to his lust on the left hand side. Right. Verse 7, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed it for us. Yahushua is our Passover to purge out that old leaven, and that is what the unleavened bread represents. And it represents the body without sin, and a body that removing demons from you, spiritual toxic, for you can be clean and pure. So you want that unleavened bread to be reminded that you are clean in the spirit, because that leaven can destroy a whole body. Right? So, right. The leaven can destroy a whole body, right? Okay? Philosophy, doctrines, and all that, right? Let's go, because Yahushua had to warn Peter, meaning the apostles, okay? About, you know what I mean? Right, about the leaven. All right? Let's go to it. Matthew 16, I want to start at verse 5. All right. Matthew 16:5. And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread. Verse 6. Then Yahushua said unto them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Verse 7. And they reasoned it among themselves, saying, it is because we have taken no bread. Verse 8. Which when Yahushua perceived it, he said unto them, O ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves, because ye have brought no bread? Verse 9, do ye not yet understand, neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000, and how many baskets ye took up? Verse 10, neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many baskets ye took up? Verse 11, how is it that ye do not understand that I spake it not to you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees? Right. Yahushua told them straight up, and beware of the leaven of these Pharisees and of the Sadducees, and they can come to you and seduce you, and next thing you know, it's going to spread that wicked philosophy and understanding of the men and overthrow them in their judgment of their understanding. And also you have wicked Israelite preaching you don't have to keep the law or wear fringes, and you will have other people follow leaven. These false doctrines will destroy the people and the congregation as well, right? All right, let's go to 2 Timothy. Okay. All right, let's stay on this 11. All right. 2 Timothy. All right. 2 Timothy 2:16. Okay. 2 Timothy 2:16. But shun profane and vain babbling, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Profane and vain babbling meaning different doctrines of leaven, right? Verse 17. And their word will eat as doth, it's like a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus, Slaki, and Philetus, Slaki. And Philetus, Slaki, verse 18. And who concerning the truth have erred it, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. If you don't avoid these doctrines and don't avoid the 11, and it is going to spread like canker. And this word canker mean in the Greek is gangrene, and that's a disease that will eat up your flesh and will start at your finger and unto your arms and chest. And are we the body of Yahushua? And is everyone a part of the body? And if you have a brother in the congregation, and if it spread to the toes, and eventually it will spread to the neck, or start from the head and end at the feet, and regardless, it is destructive to the body, and it is not profitable. So if we have leaven in our body that will take away our legs, arms, feet, neck, well, we are not going to make it. Meaning we have to take the leavened bread out of our house when the feast of unleavened bread comes in. And also it's talking about the leaven, the house of clay, meaning your body, right? Go back to Exodus 12. This is 12. Let's go to verse 8 again, okay? 12 and 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roasted with fire and unleavened bread, and with the bitter herbs they shall eat it. Lamb, unleavened bread, and bitter herbs. And the bitter herbs represent our hard bondage in Egypt, and that's why we have to have bitter herbs like horseradish, ginger root, dandelion. And when you are eating part of these meals on the Passover, and it stirs up your mind of all the parts of the scripture, the body of Yahushua, the walk that he had, the unleavened spirit that he had, the affliction and oppression that we are dealing with, the revenge that's coming from the Most High, and the wine, right? So we got to have lamb, unleavened bread, and the bitter herbs, right? Okay. So the bitter herbs is showing you. See, that's some bitter herbs, okay? Let's see, make sure you can see it good. Bitter herbs. So you can get bitter herbs, horseradish, ginger root, dandelion, okay? Right. So you gotta have that lamb, you gotta have that unleavened bread, right? Okay. So, you know, and to make the unleavened bread, it's easy. It's very easy, okay? I'm gonna get that out the way real quick, okay? The unleavened bread, okay, this is what you do. Make unleavened bread. You take flour, water, olive oil, salt, honey, and take the water and flour and get it all thick and clumpy, and add some olive oil in there, and a little bit of salt, and put some honey in it, and then put it in the oven. It's very simple. It's simple. I did it my first year. Put it, you know what I mean, put the honey in there. I put a lot of honey in there, you know what I'm saying? So, right, because like I say, 7 days, 7 days. So, like the first day of the Passover, right, you eat the leavened bread with the lamb, with the bitter herbs. Then after the rest of the week, you got to have you a piece of unleavened bread, okay? All right? So, I just made me a big taco. I mean, I've just made one big leavened bread in a pan and just put, you know, put me some beef meat on, just made it real big. But you ain't gotta do all that, I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is, as long as you got a little piece unleavened bread every day in your body, all right? All right, take a little piece every day, have in your body, all right? Okay, right. So, right, so, because I just wanted to show you that, right? Okay. Okay, and you know, and like we say, and we drink the wine. While we drink the wine represents Yahushua blood. Okay, all right. Let's go to it. It's 1 Corinthians. Okay, all right. Bear with me. This 1 Corinthians 11 and 24. Okay, 1 Corinthians 11, 24. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. Verse 25, and Slunky 25. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped it, Slunky, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. Right. And when we drink the wine, and don't get drunk on a Passover, and you can be drunk and want to sleep over your brother's house and also all in his refrigerator, that is off, and you can be mixing your wine with other drinks, because when you drink the wine, it represents Yahushua's blood, and when you drink it, you are remembering Yahushua's sacrifice, that his blood was shedded for us, and you have to drink the wine on the Passover. And if you have children, give them grape juice to drink on the Passover. Right. So if you got little kids, okay, give them grape juice, okay? All right, but you grown-ups, okay? You men and women, all right? All right, if you don't drink, that's fine. But guess what? You're going to have to drink on the Passover, okay? All right? You're going to have to drink you some wine, all right? So, man, some of these wines got pork in it, okay? So here's some good wine, okay? Can you see it? Wait a minute, I got the bottle right here. I got one in the bottle. Man, Chelsea, okay? That's what you can get for the Passover, right? Man, Chelsea, okay? All right. And here's another one. I really don't like it, but you might like it. Morgan David Concord. Okay, can you see it? David Morgan Concord. Okay. So, right. That wine for the Passover. Like I say, don't be getting drunk, don't be missing your wine up. Okay, right, don't be doing that. All right, you can't be doing that. Okay, let's get some more precepts. Hold on, bear with me. Turn this off real quick. Let's go to Revelation 1 and 5, right? Revelation 1 and 5. And from Yahushua Mashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince, like the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood. He washes us from our sins in his own blood, and blood pierced the body to get to your spirit and cleanse it from an infirmity of weakness of sin. So that is the purpose of Yahushua's blood. And just like the lamb blood cover your house and purify your house from destruction, and the lamb blood, Yahushua purify your blood from sin, and that is why we drink of the blood. But it is not actually blood. We drink the wine that represent his blood, right? We drink the wine that represent his blood, okay? That represent his blood. All right. Let's go back to Exodus 12, verse 9. This is Exodus 12 and 9, all right? Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roasted with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. Right, eat not of it raw or sodden, and that means no boiling it, and also cook it well done, and his head and legs, and with the pertinence thereof, meaning you should roast the whole lamb. But we can't really do that in Babylon, so we just go by the lamb chops, lamb steak, okay? But in the ancient world, we had to roast the whole lamb, and pertinence, meaning roast the whole lamb inside and out, right? Because we in captivity. We can't just go grab a whole lamb and cook it with its legs and its its head. But if you brothers can do that, y'all got the finance, do it, man. Practice the righteous act. But the ones, hey, we can't do that, man. We gotta go to Walmart. We gotta go to the grocery store, right? We gotta go get some lamb steaks and lamb chops, okay? Right. And another thing, don't go get no lamb ground or strips, okay? Your lamb gotta have a bone in it, okay? Right. So don't go get no lamb ground, okay? No. All right. Or no lamb strips, okay? All right. So it need to be lamb shanks, lamb chops, okay? Lamb steaks, all right? Gotta have a bone in it, all right? Okay? So, yeah, but anyway, verse 10. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn it with fire. Right, you can't have any lamb left over from the Passover, and no, you can't save it for leftovers for the next day. And if you have extra lamb and you can throw it away, and you have to burn it, and you can feed it to the dogs, and you just put it on a grill and let it burn. Right, so you can't keep no you can't keep it for the leftovers. Like, all right, I'm gonna say this for the next day. No, you got to eat what you can at night. You done with it, okay? Got to put it on the grill, burn it, okay? Right. And another thing, you cook the lamb the way it is, because in the ancient world, you cook the head, legs, and the entire lamb, and you don't cut the fat off the lamb. You don't cut the fat off the lamb, right? You cook the fat with the lamb, right? And then cook it, and you cook the lamb with the fat, and then you burn the fat and the bone before the morning, right? So, right, you cook the fat with the lamb. Don't cut it off. All right, keep the fat on the lamb when you cooking it, okay? Right, you eating your lamb, all right, and the fat, you take it and put it on the grill and burn it with the bones, okay? All right, and I mean, just heads up, you got a grill. It's good to have a full bag of coal, okay? It all depends on your congregation. You got a lot of people or just one, but me, I mean, if it's, just have a bag. Just have a full bag of charcoal, because you want to make sure them bones are burnt, all right, for the morning, all right? Okay? All right, you want to burn that fat, okay? You want to burn that extra lamb, okay? You want to burn that the bones, okay? All right? So no throwing it to no dogs, no cats, all right? It's none of that, okay? All right? Right, let's go to verse 11, all right? And thus shall you eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Right, you have to have your loins girded, and you supposed to eat like you are on the go with your shoes girded and with haste. And we left Egypt in the morning of the Passover, and we was up all that night eating the Passover. And when the sun was coming up, and we were out of Egypt, and we left the morrow after the Passover, meaning after that meal, and our forefathers eating the Passover, and got the hell out of Egypt, and they were girded up with their shoes on their feet and staff in their hand. And we have to have a staff in your hand, and we have to eat the lamb in haste, like we have somewhere to go. Right, so when you eating the Passover, okay, all right, make sure you got you men, have a staff in your hand, have your shoes on, okay, all right, in haste, like you got somewhere to go, all right, okay. Verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. Verse 13. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are, and when I see the blood Slunky, when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generation. You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance of forever. We supposed to keep the Passover forever, in every first month of the 15th day of the month. And every brother should know how to keep the Passover, and why we keep the Passover, and when to keep the Passover, right? Verse 15, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eat leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. So we have to eat unleavened bread. So the Passover that you eat and keep is the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and your Passover meal and your Passover holy days is the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And before the day of the Passover begin, you have to take all the leavened bread out of your house that has yeast in it, or any food or that has yeast in it, baking soda, and if you can afford to throw it away, then put it in your car for 7 days. And if you don't do this, and you will be destroyed by the Lord. Right. So we gotta eat all right, unleavened bread for 7 days, right? And we gotta get that leaven out of the house, all right? So some of you, if y'all got a lot of food or whatever, got a lot of yeast in it, leaven in it, I mean, go put it in your car. Go put it in your car for that 7 days, okay? Right, get it out your house, you know? Get it out your house, okay? All right, for 7 days. And I got a list. I think I'm gonna put up on put up on website. The leaven agent and items that may contain leaven for the Passover Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, all right, y'all can read. Y'all can put it on the channel. Put it on the channel. You know, y'all can read it. Y'all can blow it up. Do it like this. Blow it up or whatever. You know what I mean? And go over the list or whatever. Okay. All right. What contain leaven? All right. So, right. Because where's the unleavened bread? The unleavened bread is the Passover, right? Let's go to it. Let's go Luke 22. 22, okay? 22 and 1. Now, this Luke 22 and 1. Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, Slaki, which is called the Passover, and also in the book of 1 Esdras 1:19, it is called the Feast of Sweet Bread, because the bread they made was sweet, and they put honey and cinnamon on the bread. Right, let's go to it. 1 Esdras 1:19, all right? 1 Esdras 1. This 1 Esdras 1:19. So the children of Israel which were present held the Passover at that time, and the feast of sweet bread 7 days. Right, the feast of sweet bread for 7 days, in which it is another name for the feast of unleavened bread. Right. Let's go back to Exodus 12. I think I wore verse 16. Yeah, verse 16. Verse 16. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation, Slaki, to you no manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. The first day and the 7th day is a Sabbath, and you can buy or sell on them days, but you can cook, and you better congregate, because it is a commandment, a holy convocation. The first day and the seventh day is the feast of unleavened bread. And you be with your wife, your brother, on the Passover, and you shall be with your brother and wife on the seventh day of the feast of unleavened bread, and you can buy or sell on the first day. First day, or on the seventh, but you can buy and sell in them other days between the first day and the seventh day, right? So it's no buying and selling on the first day and the last day, all right? It's a Sabbath. No buying and selling. Gotta congregate, gotta be with your brothers, gotta be with your sisters, okay? If you can, if you're not by yourself or whatever. Some people in little towns real by themselves or whatever. But anyway, right? So, but you still buy, okay? First day and the last day, no buying and selling. But all through that week, them days between that first and seventh day, you can go buy and sell, okay? All right. That's verse 17. Verse 17, and ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this self-same day have I brought you, brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generation by an ordinance forever. Right, let's drop down to verse 43. Drop down to verse 43. This is Exodus 12:43. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. No stranger meaning no heathen. No heathen, no other nation, and you can bring them to the Passover, and no heathen can eat of the Passover, and it got to be holy and for our people only. And some brothers have a heathen wife, and you can't care how mad she get, and she has to deal with it, and she can join in the Passover, and he has to do it with his brethren, and his heathen wife can join in. Right, verse 44. But every man, verse 44, but every man servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. Meaning, if you have a man servant which is a fellow Israelite, and if he is not circumcised, and he has to get circumcised, and then he can eat the Passover, right? Verse 45. A foreigner and hired servant shall not eat thereof, meaning no heathen, the other nations, all right? 46. In one house, in one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall ye break a bone thereof. Right, meaning you can't take your lamb and eat it on the porch, or eating outside with the brothers, or on the balcony, or on the goat, or on the patio, and that's off and wicked, and you have to keep the Passover in the house, and you can't break the bones on the lamb, because it was symbolic to none of Yahushua's bones were broken on the crucifixion. And remember, they wanted to break his legs, but he was dead already, and it was no need to break his legs when he was already dead. Right. So you gotta eat this Passover in the house, not outside, not on the go, not grabbing the land, piece of land. Oh no, I need to go drive somewhere, do something. No, you can't do all that. All right, you gotta be in the house. All right, shoes on with your staff, your hand. Right. Okay. So, they wanted to break his bones, but it's fulfilled that you can't break his bones, right? But that you can't break the bones on the Passover. All right, let's go to it. Right, let's John 19 and 32. Then came the soldier and break the legs of the first and of the other which was crucified with him. 33. But when they came to Yahushua and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his legs. Meaning they wanted to break his legs, for he could hurry up and die, and to get him off of the cross. But they didn't break his legs, because that was fulfilled that you can break the bones on the Passover. And just like our grandmother and parents used to do in slavery, or when we were kids, and break the chicken drumstick bone and suck all the juice out of and you can do that, and that's off and wicked. And we can break the bones on the Passover, or have the Passover outside, and we have to eat in the house, right? So we can't be doing that, all right? We can't be grabbing after we eat the lamb bone, trying to suck or trying to break it open and suck it. No, you can't do all that, all right? Let's go back to it. Exodus 12, should want 47. Exodus 12 and 47, okay? All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And verse 48, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. You have to be circumcised to eat the Passover. Israel and the stranger, which they are Israelites, and that's part of the law as well, right? Let me tell you my story. When I first came in this thing, I wasn't circumcised, prayed to the Most High, and hey, I thought about it. I was like, man, I got Esau credit card. I'm just, man, let me go pay this $1,800 to get circumcised. I know our people and our family financially don't have the means to get it done right now, right? Like I said, that just wanted to tell you my story, right? So I just used this credit card. Hey, and got it done, okay? Anyway, verse 49. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourned among you. Verse 50. Thus did all the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. Verse 51. And it came to pass the selfsame day that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies, right? So that's the Passover, right? Okay. So that's the Passover, write this lesson down, okay? And this is what we got to do to keep the Passover, right? Right, this Passover is very serious, okay? Right. But hope this was edifying. I'm going to give the honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Like I say, the Passover start let me look at the calendar, make sure. I know it's on the 21st, April the 21st, but make sure April the 21st, all right, to April 21st sundown to April 28th sundown, okay, all right. But I will post that up on the site as well, okay? But anyway, Shalom.